Hi babies, how are you? It's your girl Hazel back with another video. Um, I want to light some Palo Santo for you guys. So, the mood is clear. It's a good mood going. It's definitely a good mood going right now. Um, so I want to light some Palo Santo just because it is a good mood and we can just spread, the love and the joy around the room. It has a big flame to it too. So I want to talk about 2021, how that year was for me. 2021 was, it was like a huge wake up call for me on so many levels. 2021 has shown me my worth as a queen, as a woman, for me to grow into this beautiful soul. It really made me realize my worth. It also felt like it was like a test somewhat as well. So it wasn't like a horrible year for me. It definitely wasn't. But we had a few little, you know. But I'm so glad to be in this new year and to share it with you guys. And I know all of you guys is happy that you are here 2022. We're going to run it the fuck up for sure. I also wanted to talk about going back a little bit, 2020 is the year I started transitioning medically, and I came out socially to the world. What broke the barrier for me to really have the confidence? Because, I told you guys, I, gained the confidence. Let me tell you how I gained the confidence to really do this. I was living as a gay feminine male earlier part of 2020. The pandemic and all that shit just has started. And I was just starting to walk into my truth as far as me being feminine. I would always tell my mom and people I was close with at that time. I just wanted to have my image very feminine. I never said anything about transitioning. Transitioning was in my mind. It was never anything I spoken out loud. I didn't know. I always knew I wanted to transition. I never knew when it was ever going to happen. I definitely didn't think it was going to happen when it did. And yes, I was wearing my nails and everything, but it definitely was coming to a point. It's like, Hazel, you gotta do something, sweetie. You just gotta live. Even with me wearing my nails, it wasn't even enough. It wasn't enough. I needed to be whole, as a woman. And I met this beautiful soul. We was introduced by a friend of mine, an old friend of mine. He brought me over to her place, and a trans woman, and I had never been around. Really, I know of trans women. I never had any friends as trans women, or was around them. So I met her, and she just happened to be a trans woman. She was so full of energy and life. She had this confident, bold spirit to her. And she just like immediately accepted me, and she noticed me being trans without me even saying anything. She was able to peep that out. We like talked about it. And by me seeing her boldness and confidence, and I'm in a space of a trans woman, didn't really realize it, but I was walking into the first journey of my transition. And I said, oh shit, I think I can do it now. I'm feeling the confidence now. I'm like, they're the trans woman in the same city I'm in. If she can do it, why I can't do it? It's your time. Let's go and do this shit. Let's start your journey. And that was so beautiful to start it. And I do appreciate her because she helped me out so much more than she realized. Um, she influenced me a lot to walk into my journey because I didn't know when I was going to transition. If I haven't ran into her that day, I don't even know when or how I would have just started. It would have just been so much. But she's my trans mother now. She has been for a while. And yes, that's how I walked into my journey. And I just grew into this beautiful trans woman since. And when I started, it was hard for me to I will always go to the boy section. Mother would go to the girl section, of course. And she like, girl, why you keep going over there to the man section? And it was kind of hard to transition my mind over to the women's side. Even though I'd rather be over here, my confidence wasn't there yet. I'm like, at the time, I had a boy body still. I'm like, I won't look right in the feminine clothes, right now. So I would always go to the boy section until my body started to form, and then that's when I was able to. I'm like, oh shit, okay, let's try. Now we finna go in the women's section. At first, I would like turn my head every time and like make sure somebody wasn't looking at me. Now, it's not even a thought. But at the time, I would watch and stuff to make sure somebody was looking at me, which they always was. But I didn't give a fuck. I just would buy clothes pieces by pieces and see what I like. I'm still learning what I like as a trans woman. It's a journey. It's a learning journey. You're not gonna have everything off the rip. You're not gonna know what type of. You may have an idea of what type of clothing you want to wear, but you really don't know until you just try different shit. And I'm just a little over a year in my transition. I have a long journey to go, but I'm doing very fucking well for where I'm at, for sure. And recently, I be on Reddit and I seen um trans women. Well, I guess they haven't even started their transition. They haven't came out, nothing. They write posts on there like, you guys, I was going to come out to my family for Christmas, but they end up buying me boy clothes. So how do I go about it? I can't come out to my people now. I would never be a trans woman. I want to say, baby, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And I know how scary it is. I know exactly how scary it is. You don't have to rush into it. Just take your time. And do it. Don't ever doubt yourself of being trans or just, beat yourself up that you haven't came out yet. It is scary, especially people looking at you as a male, and then you're gonna come out and say that you're a woman. They're gonna look crazy, like what? Especially you haven't talked about anything. or if you haven't gave them any signs because you've been having a wall up for so long, so they don't know, it's going to be a major gag for them. So I would say just prep for it. Just find a way to tell them somehow, alone, whatever the best way, most comfortablest way for you to tell them. And you, what you do is you start small. You never just go leap into transition, especially from being a whole male or a butch queen or a gay male. You don't wanna just jump into it wearing dress and skirts the next day from wearing a army man suit. That's whew, that's a lot of anxiety right there already. A lot of anxiety. So just take little baby steps. Maybe get you some nice feminine pair of jeans, a little skinny tight jeans. Um, you're wearing your shoes, maybe a little tight shirt or something. Just start off real little and then gradually grow into it. And it's gonna be easier that way, especially while you're just starting off on hormones or just came out. Because it is a growing process. You're not going to the next day and be like a whole fully transition woman. It doesn't work that way. And it's fun documenting your transition from 2 months ago or 5 months ago. It's kind of interesting because our body changes. We look at pictures and like, oh, I used to look like this and now I look like this, and see improvements, see where you lack this and that at. It's very interesting. Don't give up on yourself. I believe in you. Somewhere inside of you, you believe in you. You just don't know it yet. And I seen something recently, and it was this debate of this guy telling this trans woman that like, you chose to live this lifestyle. You chose to be a transgender. You can't choose this lifestyle. It's not even a lifestyle, for one. It's who you are. It's your actual life. This isn't a game. This isn't a trend. Like, I can't say that I wouldn't want to be transgender because this is who I am. I'm living in my truth after being scared of it for so many years. It's not a game. It's not a trend. And stop saying that this is a choice, because had I not did my thing and like transition, I wouldn't even be here right now talking to you guys. Especially seeing people like play around with transition and they don't even be trans women. It's really upsetting because I just know exactly how much it took me to get to where I'm at. So the trans and stuff, it gotta stop. It's nothing nice or nothing cute about acting like you trans. You're just mocking us. Just stop the bullshit and just be yourself. You can't sit there and try to hop from transition and get on medicine and hormones and then jump to being a gay male. You just make it us look like we're not serious as people. And there's people out here dying every day because they're too scared to live in their truth. And you people out here playing around with it, that's not cool. But anyway, I love you guys and I'm out of here. I hope you have a great, amazing night. And I would do the same.